Alright, sweet. Alright guys, there we go. You can see me loud, you can hear me, all that kind of stuff. It's all good. We're all good. We're all good. I had a little hiccup there. Sorry about that, guys. Uh, yeah, sorry. That was a little bit weird for me. Um, it's just sometimes OBS gets a little bit stupid. I don't know. We're all good though. Um, Let me know if the music is too loud, too quiet, you know, that whole shtick. Okay, okay. Yep. Yep, we good? Okay. Okay, so I'm again like the regular thing that happens is I'm just gonna make uh I'm always too loud. I'm always too loud, Link. um yeah, okay, so the music I'm leaving it a little bit more background this time. Just because I think like the last time might have been a little bit annoying. Um yeah, so basically these streams are just me messing around with a ball, turning it into a creature or a character or whatever, like some sort of like a concept. So you're more than welcome, guys, to sculpt along with me. I actually encourage it, and then afterwards, like or during whatever, you can actually just like tag me with your what you came up with during the stream, and I'd love to see like what everybody's working on or what you've done or anything like that. So it's just like grab a ball in ZBrush, just grab your balls, and I just start messing around and then see what you end up getting from it. I always find that that's a really like it's a fun kind of loose way to work. All right. Before I start, I'm just gonna make sure OBS doesn't crash on me. That would be good too. I'm gonna sculpt a potato with a potato. You're already done? Blame the software, classic. No, it's definitely user error. Whoops. Definitely user error. Okay. And if you guys have any questions about what I'm doing at any point in time, don't feel afraid to ask questions. I'm good with questions. So when I'm doing this too, I like to really like focus on like the silhouette and the shapes. So I like to try and find something interesting in terms of shapes. I like to block out with like big chunky primitives and then cut away afterwards. See what happens. That sort of a deal. And don't expect this to look like anything until maybe halfway through the stream. It's usually how it goes. Usually how it goes. Hey Sedacious, how you doing? How am I? I'm doing great. I'm doing much better now that that I got the stream to work. So I'm kind of seeing something a little bit more on the I want to try and maintain maybe like for this one I want to try and maintain like a triangle shape of some kind. and see if see what I can get with that. So I'm kind of seeing a little bit of like a jaw shape. It's a dog! It's always a dog. It's always a dog. Just like my last one, it was a dog. That's all I do. One trick pony. Dogs. Okay. So another thing, like if you're having problems with this dynamic thing, because I like to keep dynamic on, just because then when I zoom in, like my brush size basically it maintains the same size no matter what. So if I have a size 314 here, if I zoom in, it will still be 314. It won't, like, it's like, you know, dynamic to your mesh size. So if you wanna keep that working, but you know you find that the biggest dynamic size is not big enough for you, just make sure your mesh is unified, and then that ends up like helping. Just unify your mesh. Alright, so what do I want to do with this character? I feel like it's going very demon right now. So in that case, I think I'm just gonna try to exaggerate like the strength of it. New Destiny concept. It's a goblin! Oh, you see a goblin? I mean, I guess it does kind of have a little bit of that in there, doesn't it? Yeah, this is just like, this is all about just kind of learning to just like free sculpt, not worry about too much, and just let your imagination do its thing. Now your imagination is built, like, it's based on well, not even just based on, but it is literally everything that you've ever seen in your whole life. Like that is what you're limited to, is what you've seen. So if you have a very big visual library, the more successful this sort of a thing would be. But even if you don't, I still recommend just like trying to play around with shapes and seeing like what kind of like an interesting sort of shape and design you can get that you're not necessarily used to. So you can see I'm trying to keep like the shape really, really, really strong. It's a rock golem. Hey, Rek, how's it going? Oh my gosh, Katana, how you doing? Hey Disjam, how you doing? Yeah, the underbite just like it's. I love my underbites. I don't know what it is. They took your swords. You have no power here, Rek. You have no power. Did I put on makeup today? You see no difference. There's an about. There's the about. The about? Oh, you mean the about of like what I'm doing? I mean, isn't it kind of obvious? I just muddy around with a ball. I like to just muddy around with. I'm not going to continue that sentence because it just doesn't sound right. I don't want you to take it out of context. So, when it comes to shape and silhouette, I'm looking at like, you know, for something like this, like I really love strong shapes. I think you can probably get that by how much I keep saying shapes. But I try to like kind of like sketch out some sort of like a silhouette. So in this case, you're seeing like this, like, you know, triangle shape. Then everything is kind of like pointing down into like the center of the face in terms of lines. So this would be a line, this would be a line. It goes down, in, down, 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 sort of a thing. And even in the front, just like continuing lines is very like straightforward sort of thing when you're designing like this, anyways. There's gonna be, you know, there's gonna be things that fail, there's gonna be things that end up turning out okay. Hopefully this one ends up turning out okay. It's just about having fun. You really do see the triangle forms. Yeah, I know. They're kind of obvious, aren't they? They're kind of like super in your face. But I really like that. I really like doing that, you know, like, hey, look, this character is a triangle. Could you tell? Could you tell? Triangles are evil. Oh man, exactly. He is the face of Illuminati. I'm dressed like a 90s grunge rocker. Yeah, basically. VR sculpting. Yeah, it's yeah. It's interesting. I mean, like it's not nearly as refined as something like this, like ZBrush, but it is fun. Not gonna lie, but it's like, you know, it's not ZBrush. It's like you can't, I don't know, you can't get the same results. You just can't. Hey guys, guess what? I'm putting in more triangles. I'm putting in more triangles. All right, so now I just kind of want to, like, you know, explain to you guys like how fast that really was. Now all of a sudden, like, I have one bust design. For me, both sketching and this are kind of like in the same sort of vein of like how fast it is for me to like kind of pump out like concepts. I know a lot of people prefer to just like, you know, draw. They think it's faster, but if you're just kind of like going for really quick stuff, it's like, okay, bam, like I'd have like one concept, and I would have like a side view and a front view of that one head sculpt, and then I could do another one, and that was like 10 minutes. And then you could do each one like boom, 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 and then if you want, you can paint over them afterwards as well, right? So that ends up being kind of cool, especially if you're working in sort of like a silhouette manner like this. It's actually it's a really quick way to get that kind of stuff like pumped out. And it's like super easy to change too. It's like you don't have to necessarily go and draw a whole new picture. You just come and grab this and be like, oh, your director's just like, oh, can you like move, like, can you like stop making this like more like, you know, triangle? Can you make it more square? You're like, okay, fine. Like, I'll just grab that and, you know, whatever. Hey, Moldy, how is it going? You have a professor who boils all character design down to circles, rectangles, and triangles. It's hilarious how much you can get to know a character just by reading all the circles and whatnot in it. Yeah. See, like that's the core of character design. That's called construction, right? So when you're drawing, you have to look at like a character or sculpting even. You have to look at your subject, as in what primitives is it made out of, and everything that you see around you is made up of primitives. So you can literally sculpt or draw anything around you if you just learn to see those shapes and learn how it's built out of those shapes. So like, for example, this mug, right? It's a cylinder and it's tapered at the bottom, right? And then this, it's all constructed out of sort of a rectangular shape that's just bent. And so then if you think like that and you just draw it in its most primitive form and then build up on top of it afterwards, you end up getting really strong designs, and that's how you can achieve appeal a lot easier as well. I honestly wish I had learned that earlier. I had gone to like a fine arts high school, so it was like 4 years. I was learning how to like, you know, paint and draw and do all that kind of fun stuff. You know, it was one of those things where we just kind of like got free reign of a studio, and they were like, okay, do your thing, feel the art, right? And it's just like, I just kind of wish there was a little bit more of like, you know, oh well, everything around you is built out of form and shapes and stuff. It was only in like when I got to college that I found that out, and I was like, oh man, that's a game changer. That's a game changer. Because it's almost like a formula, right? Kaiju time, yeah, basically. Carl. Please continue the bug model. Yeah, if you want to see the bug stuff, you can come to my channel, hang out at my channel. I do like a lot of like continued projects and stuff on the Pixelogic one, just because I feel like it's a little bit more appropriate for me to just kind of like, you know, talk to chat, answer questions, and just kind of like have fun with the sculpt, and just kind of like be messing around with a whole bunch of stuff, and do like, you know, speed sculpts, like concept sculpts with you guys. I just feel like it's a little bit better. But if you wanna see any of like the projects that I'm working on, feel free to like visit my channel. Hey Kyle! Do I normally start at 128 res Dynamesh for the whole blocking process? No, not always. It really depends on like how big of a blocked out thing I'm going for, right? Like, so if I had like an even bigger model than this, it really depends on like how big your scene size is, and then that would depend on the resolution. I usually just play around with it. I try to get it like enough resolution so I can start kind of like building up. Whoops. Woo! Because I really like that feeling of building organically on top of a model. Like, I know that working low poly is really good for a lot of things, but something like this, I just prefer doing it with with high poly, just because it feels a little bit more organic to me. And I'm very like artsy fartsy that way. I'm like, oh, I need to be able to feel my form. I need to feel my clay. Hey, Expecto! Some complex character designs, currently not troll. I should do some like complex character design. What do you mean by that? Black is the new. Gonna say you're gonna say combo some more squares so you can feel evil, strong, beefy. Yeah. So right now, there's when you're working on design, the things to focus on is like, you know, your primary details, your secondary details, and your tertiary details. Of course, you can get even further down into that, but when I'm talking about like primary versus secondary detailing, so primary shapes, for example, would be this big triangle right here. That's primary. This is primary right here, right? All of that, these two things, it's like an hourglass, right? Primary shapes. And then secondary shapes are anything inside of those shapes that are helping to carry your eye around the design. So for example, like right here, this would be my secondary shapes. They're the tinier shapes within that. Now, I haven't gotten to any kind of tertiary detail, but tertiary detail in a sense would be like detailing of these teeth, you know, where the eyes, the folds, and things like that. That would be tertiary. And if you wanted to get even crazier, you could go into the fourth realm and just go crazy with it. And you know, there's a lot of stuff out there that's really complicated in that sense, but you don't necessarily need to. I'm just saying that there are the three like basic levels of design. You don't even need to go to tertiary if you don't want to. You can do primary and secondary, but it's just like, you know, it's that sort of an idea. Convince you to look into ZBrush? Oh, nice, Gilmo, I'm glad. Commercial art for the wave, yeah. Gotta do your daily league grind. Alright, Moldy. Thanks for stopping by. It's good to see you. Link, you have no power. Yeah, so Link and Rec are some of my regulars. They're same with Cardboard. They're mods in my stream, so if you guys need any more mods, they're trustworthy, they're good, they're not spazzes. If you need them. I don't know if you need them. Oh man, I'm trying to catch up here. You don't like where this is going? Oh, you're talking. Okay, got you. Oh man. Pixar prime and secondary for the most part, yeah, and the tertiary. So Pixar is kind of interesting in terms of like how Pixar would break down. I would say, anyways, if I was looking at a Pixar movie, like Pixar characters, they have both tertiary, like, you know, very strong primary shapes. And then they have secondary shapes as well, which they do in the model. And then all of their tertiary detail, they have very realistic sort of like textures and materials on their characters, which give it like that really cool look. But that's all done in their texturing pass, their surfacing pass. So that's actually kind of interesting that that's how they handle their tertiary details. So it's sort of like, it's there, so it feels good, the designs feel good, you know, but it's not integral to the shape of the character, if that makes sense. Reg, best motto. Lacko. I'm not lying about you guys not being spazzes here. Awesome, Kingsley. She just wants to get rid of them. I just want them to go to this jail so they don't deal with me over here. Ba, 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 ba. All right. Hates. Wow, Link. So soon. Don't say that. Don't say that. Okay, so now we're getting that like really like sleek like kind of thing. I want to push the triangle feeling a little bit more. Sort of a thing. I'm looking at like pushing it up like this. So that feels kind of nice. I'm all about pushing them characters. Just push it. Just push it. Push it. And I remember when I was in school, one of the things that I left school remembering has nothing necessarily to do with just sculpting alone, but just art in general. Is if you're doing something in a medium, let's say it is 3D, why are you doing it in 3D? You know, what can you do in 3D that you can't do in 2D? And are you gonna bring that to your artwork? So I always try to like push the designs as far as they can go, or to the best of my ability anyways. Hey, Tomb, how you doing? Yeah, so another thing too, if you're having issues with like, you know, getting a shape looking nice, just try to stick to your try to stick to your orthographic views and use a lot of like clipped brushes. I find that's like really useful because then bam, like there's the shape like immediately. So and then you can go in afterwards and just kind of like soften it all out. Okay. Also, when things start to get like their general shape, I like to start splitting my subtools up as well. Because then I can more freely move the shapes around too. It's a little bit less destructive. And I really dig that non-destructive workflow. I really dig it. So yeah, guys, if you aren't sculpting along and you want something to do, I encourage you to just kind of like grab a ball of clay and just kind of do a thing. Just see what you come up with. And you can feel free to like, you know, tag me on it on Twitter or Instagram or wherever you're posting it. I'd love to see. I like seeing. I like seeing the things. Okay, that's that. And we could do an append with another sphere. You'll also notice me using, like I said earlier, just like balls of clay and just like stuffing them around. I came from a traditional sculpting background, a little bit anyways. Like I wasn't like a huge sculptor before I came into ZBrush, but I definitely was more familiar with the additive feeling of traditional sculpting. So I still kind of do that. I just throw a ball down and then push and pull it like I would in traditionally. Grab a bowl. I was saying grab a ball, you know, whichever. whatever. Yeah, no worries, Toon. Only make organic models, no mechanic mechas, robots or whatever. I do occasionally. I don't like doing them on stream that much, just because when I do mech stuff, I'm a little bit like methodic about it. I'm a little bit slower, I guess. Any kind of like mechanical sort of thing. I've done some robot stuff at work and stuff like that, but it's nothing I really have in my portfolio can demonstrate that. Okay, let's attach this. Get this up here. Make a mech for you. Maybe for your birthday. Maybe for your birthday. I definitely think that my strengths lie in organic, but I do have some hard surface experience as well. Okay. So, what I'm trying to do is get a little bit of a strong jawline. And when it comes to anatomy for this kind of thing, I usually don't worry too much about it being like 100% accurate. And I know a lot of people are like, blasphemy, but no. Like honestly speaking, like if you're just doing like a quick sketch, you can always come back and fix anatomy that you're getting wrong. And I mean, you're always gonna get it kind of wrong unless you're directly looking at references. And if I'm just kind of like freeform sculpting without looking at references, then I try not to put a pressure on myself about getting it all 100% right off the bat. If I really like the way that something is going, I tend to continue it afterwards, and then I go and look up references to actually make it correct. Or at least feel a little bit better. But this is just generally just to kind of get the idea. All right, good night, Toom. Thanks for stopping by. Your birthday's sooner. Make you an alien cyborg. Oh my goodness. The mech god? No, I'm not super no. I'm not super super good with mech stuff. Do you think you'll ever encounter any problems with modeling on matte, sending to ZBrush to sculpt to find detail and then sending it back to Max to project the refined sculpt on the original model? Think you'll ever encounter any problems? You might, yeah. Like, I mean, like that's a good workflow to have, though. Like, I know a lot of people do that. It's just you gotta make sure that if you're doing something like that, like typically what people do is they bake it down, right? So they send it to like an external baking program and bake out the maps for the details. But if you really need something like super high poly, I guess I'm not 100% understanding. You're finding you're needing Maya less and less. Yeah, like it's actually really cool. The more familiar you become with ZBrush, it's nice because you don't have to really leave the program too much. And I really like programs where you don't have to keep leaving. I like not having a million things open at once. I'm that kind of person that like if I have my web browser open, I have like a maximum of 5 tabs. If I'm not using a tab, I close it. Hey Zomax, how you doing? Dynamesh is love, Dynamesh is life. Yeah, Pixelogic Z Classroom. If you don't know about it, you should go and check it out. They're like very, very good tutorials on there. You like having a million things open. Hey man, to each their own. I can't do it though. I can't do it. Now I'm feeling a little like just working a bit on the face. Even though I should block out the entire body first. I don't really feel like it right now. Send the ZBrush police after me. Send the character design police after me. What are you doing? Well, you know, what I'm not supposed to. You jump programs so much, you just like doing stuff in different programs. I like using different programs, but I enjoy, like, you know, if something is as artistic as this, like ZBrush is really, it's like I just have a lot of fun in it and it feels really good for me, so I like staying in it as long as possible. Doesn't mean that I dislike, you know, working in other programs as well, but just, yeah. I like it. Hence why I'm sculpting in it. Cool. So I'm trying to get like a little bit more of like a sculptural, like some triangular planar things happening in here to define those like secondary shapes without actually having anything there. And by doing that, I'm using H polish if you're curious. You have a 16 gigabyte, what, of RAM? 38 tabs, yeah. I have 16 gigs of RAM as well, and I guess that's why I'm like, nah, I don't really want everything open at once. Yeah, exactly. Same here, Giovanni. How is H-polish and flatten different? Oh, the flatten brush. The flatten brush. The flatten. Okay, so the flatten actually it looks like it has a bias towards your brush shape a little bit more, and it kind of works in a similar way to trim dynamic, it seems. I'm not very familiar with the flatten brush, but the H polish brush is based on like strict angles, so it sticks to like one angle. You can't really get curves with it. So if I start doing this, you see it just kind of like switches plane, and that's really good for like hard surfacey kind of stuff, like blocking out your planes and things. The other one that I do use is trim dynamic, and that's very similar to your flatten brush, but I feel like it's a little bit better because it gets like a harder edge, and you can get like your curves and things like that in there with that. But I typically don't start using something like trim dynamic until later on. That's a personal preference anyways. Time to upgrade to 64 gigs. I know, I should go and get some more RAM. Your first hard surface character. Trying to think of how you want to go about it. Well, there's a lot of different workflows that you could do. You could do what I'm doing right now, actually. If you have ZBrush. ZBrush is actually... Disjam, actually, he... he demonstrated how, like, you know, how fast hard surface in ZBrush can actually be. Same with Pierre. Pierre got it going really good, too. You can check out some of the VODs. There's been a lot of like hard surface people on here. Right. So again, I'm trying to really like stick with that sort of triangular feeling where it keeps tapering and getting bigger and bigger. I think with this whole back area though, what I want to do is take it and extend it. Yeah, feels a little bit better. Hi, Giovanni. Oh, there's a command now. Cool. Oh, Neato Burrito. I should download more RAM. I'll get right on that. So because this is gonna be actually Work with this this pose. Wait until you have some spare cash and splurge it all on RAM. Yeah, just have a computer and all it is RAM. That sounds like the best idea. Just only RAM. Hey bro, what are your specs? 7,000 RAM. Oh my god. Immediate facepalm. Cue the facepalms. Girl, do you even know what you're talking about? No, I don't. I mean, I built my computer, but I can admit to saying I don't think I actually knew what I was doing, but I was doing it, so. That's like my life. I just realized that. I'm doing it, but I don't know how. I don't know how. It's just kind of happening. What about the flatten deformer? Oh, you're talking about the deformation tab over here. Deformation. So you're talking about these ones. So flatten, I don't typically use flatten that much. What I do do is if I open up like a ring right here in the deformation to get like, you know, like necklaces and things like that, I actually sometimes play around with spherical flatten, which ends up getting a really like continuous flat surface all the way around. And then I usually insert a I do things like inserting a sphere here and like Dynamesh subbing it so that it's like a thin strap and it's consistent all the way around, sort of a thing. So that's how I only use really like S-flatten. Flatten, I think I've used it before, same with R-flatten. I can't remember in what, like I'd have to be using it to tell you, honestly. Like how I use it. This guy's got like the worst posture ever. Speaking of which, everybody, make sure you're sitting up straight. Make sure you're sitting up straight. I always have to remind myself that art is dangerous for your back. It's your #1 enemy as an artist. It's your posture. Hey, Lovar! Sitting up straight in 2017. Yeah, you kind of have to, though. Last minute, she's gonna flip it to reveal the Illuminati face. You already know it. You already know it. That's why I started with a triangle. $7,000 RAM seems pretty bad. I know, right? Like, why not build a computer? Like, spend all of your money on just RAM and just put it in a pile and just will it to do the thing. That's how computers work, right? Hey Suko, how you doing? Standing desk at work? Oh man, I don't know how you do that. I can't do standing desk at work. I would not be able to. I just go for lots of walks. Okay, let's get another thing in here.
Girl, I know you, but you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like kung fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us against the world. We're the perfect team. You're my dream, and I just want it. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. If you ever need a helper, you should know that I'll be there day and night. Nobody else can love you better. I'm here just to treat you right. You're the reason I'm alive.
Kind of looks like Wolverine. Like it's this thing that's going on right here, and the Dorito looking body shape or whatever. What am I sculpting? I don't know. Wait, like I never really know what I'm sculpting when it comes to these streams. It's just kind of like having fun, really just pushing shapes, seeing what I can get out of it.
You my bunny, I'm your clock. From now to eternity, I give you all my heart. We are meant to be, it's clear to see. My love is bigger than I thought. I got everything I want when I hold you with my...
Yeah, see that's the thing that I like about ZBrush is you can get like really awesome silhouettes like super quick. And if I'm not like if I'm like, you know, concepting something, I take this into Photoshop, so I'd have like, you know, view, 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 and it's just like bam, all of a sudden I can paint over 3 views. It's just like, I mean, it's great as a base, it's great as like a final thing, it's great like all around. Like I love it. Cue fangirling. So again, when it comes to my anatomy, I'm not looking at reference right now. Like if you're doing something final, absolutely look at reference. And if I were to continue this, I would be looking at reference for anatomy. But just to get out like shapes and things like that, I'm trying not to worry about it too much right now. For all you guys being like, you do realize that that is not what an arm looks like. I know. I'm aware. I'm aware. Oops. That's not what I wanted. It's more of just like, well, can I get the gesture, and then I'll get all of the other fun stuff in later. Again, I want to do something with this head. Probably. Let's try this. Let's pull this out a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh no! Oh my gosh, so nice. I thought that was my mouse for a second. That's crazy. What kind of jobs do you guys have? Well, Chiffy, I am a 3D character artist. I do a lot of sculpting and texturing and stuff. Looks cool, like a manga character. Yeah, it's kind of going in that route, isn't it? Kind of just like letting it be what it wants to be. Sounds so artsy. Oh, so artsy. So this, there we go. That'll look a little bit better. There we go. There's some basic muscles. Let's put that in though. Okay, stone wrenches. I'll keep dragging this out. Just kind of. Also, another thing that I like to work, this is probably from my animation background, is a lot of like straights versus curves. So if I can get more of like a curved kind of shape on like one side, it helps the shape and the form, helps you kind of keep going with your eyes. So if one side has more of like a curve, and then this is straight, and then this is a little bit straighter, and then this inner part is a little bit more curved, it helps with the design. It's also technically how the muscles work, in a sense. Like, I mean, this is not like anatomically correct whatsoever, but like I said before, it's just sort of like gestural, getting in like shapes that I'd find interesting. 5 to 9 hours you end this model. So what? Yeah, so from 5, well, until 12 a.m. my time. So it's like we've been going for about an hour, and then we're gonna stop at 12. So that's 4 hours. We'll see where it gets to. You work with ZBrush and you're beginner, you need some advice for the eye. Can you help me? Yeah, sure. I can actually show you some eye stuff. Hey Mooby, how you doing? Hi Mike. As someone who recently graduated from artsy school and didn't start on the whole 3D thing in a capacity. Any advice to get into the industry? Okay, so for me, like, I mean, I'm not like 100% the best person to ask about how you get into the industry because I feel like I got a little bit lucky. There was like a dry spell for the animation industry in Toronto. They needed like a lot of people and there weren't enough people there, so I ended up just getting in right after school, which was really nice. But I'd say like the best thing is to just don't be afraid to talk to people and always work on your own personal work. Just constantly push it and try and figure out what part of the 3D pipeline, if you want to be a 3D artist, like what part of the 3D pipeline are you most interested in? Like, do you want to be a character artist? Do you want to be an environment artist? Do you want to be a surfacing artist, a rigger, a lighter? You know, you got to figure something like that out. Once you kind of like know what you want to do in that sense, it's a little bit easier to start like really pushing all of that, and just focus on it. Just like pick something and just do it. Just do a lot of it. Okay, so that's wrong. It's like, this doesn't look right. It's because it isn't right. Come back here. No, that's also wrong. Okay, I'm gonna fill this out for right now, and then I'll go back in afterwards. I'm just gonna get the general shapes. Yeah, but I'll work on some eye stuff as well. Like I'll put some eyes in this guy, if that'll help you at all. There we go. That's what it was. It's like, why doesn't this look right? Come on, brain. And that's why, like, you know, if you're actually trying to get like anatomy to look right, you gotta be looking at reference. But I am not right now. I'm just kind of going at it, so I'm not going to spend too long on this. Oops. Yeah, it's Glauco Longi's madcap. I really like his stuff. It has like a really nice spec, and that's something that, you know, if you're sculpting, I'm always looking at where the highlight on the model is, because that's its most that's its highest point to your camera. So it's easier to tell where, you know, your forms are lying as well. So arms are definitely one of those things that take me a little bit longer. But I still enjoy doing them. They're a lot of fun to me. So I do them even though it does take me a little bit of time. So have patience. It'll look like something eventually. Okay. So I wanted to... Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to exaggerate the pose of this a little bit more. Oops. So these ones. This. Still feeling like a little bit lumpy. I gotta work with the back. Ratio of people in the studio, character prep. Yeah, so there's usually not a lot of character artists. There's a lot of character animators. Environment modelers, it depends on where you are. Sometimes environment modelers and character artists are kind of the same thing. You're just lumped into being a modeler. There's a lot of animators. There's a lot of lighters. There's usually always a shortage of riggers, so if you want a steady job, you want a job no matter where you go, get good at rigging, get good at lighting. those are two of them. People are always looking for riggers and lighters. What I'm doing right now is character art, though. I thought ZBrush was mostly dependent on RAM. It is, yes. Oh, CPU bound. Okay, my bad. Don't listen to me. I don't know. I know that having more RAM helps. I don't know very much. I'm not very good at at that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm just gonna. Shh. I didn't say that. I didn't say it. Whose mat cap is this? This is a material. This is Bakolongi's material. Yeah, ZBrush does eat RAM. That's why, I always thought that it was very RAM dependent. But if it's coming from the CPU, that makes more sense. You use Snakehook instead of Move. Is there advantage? Yeah, it's a lot faster. I find it faster. It's a little bit hard to get used to, but when you get used to it, it's just faster. It's just like you get strokes and gestures out a lot faster than the new Move Brush. Move Brush is very restricted in terms of how far it can move things. Include painting skin waves because painting skin waves makes you hurt inside. Yeah, it does. I'm sorry. Needs CPU to think and RAM to remember. Fair enough. That's easy way to remember it. I need more RAM. Apparently, low bar. Yeah, Stadius. It's faster. At least for me, it is. You have to get used to it though. In terms of using it as a moving tool, because it is pretty finicky. It's finicky, but I like it a lot. song is so full of love. I love all of you. Does ZBrush make use of hyperthreading? I'm not 100% sure, boss. I'm not the one to ask about that. Eric, it's okay. You don't have to. If you're really tired, you should go to sleep. There's VODs. How long does it take to make a character? That really depends on Monster. It really depends on the character. The more complex it is, the longer it's going to take. So if you give me a specific example, I could ballpark it for you, but it's going to be different in every situation. Especially if you're working professionally, it's hard to kind of judge an exact bid time for anything that you're doing. Like, you know, obviously you gotta tell them a time, right? So you guess, but it's always a guessing game, because you can't take into consideration the amount of revisions that are going to come in, and backtracking too. So. Alright, this guy needs a wider profile. I'm wondering how I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna play with this a little bit more. Or if not a wider profile, then at least let's try making it a bigger head, and then pulling this in a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, that feels just a bit better. We have 1 to 2 high works for a specific job you want in your portfolio. You should think of getting into game 3D animation events. Sorry, movie. I normally sculpt the eyes or the iris, or the eyes and the iris, or would you just use a texture for the iris with a bump and displacement map? Again, it really depends on the character. I like doing my eyes, like, you know, for stylized things, I kind of just push in circles. If I'm doing like a realistic eye, then yeah, I would actually like sculpt out the entire iris and all those details and things like that, and then bake out a map for it. But again, like, it depends on if you're, you know, what your poly budget is. It depends on a whole bunch of different things, like what your project is. All right, good night, soul. Have a good sleep. Hey, Mapax, how you doing? Superhero. 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 Say it more. Superhero. Nightmares about this creature. No, don't. It's not that scary. It's not that scary. He's huggable. That's a face that he just wants to hug you. It's the can't judge a book by its cover. God. ZBrush is addictive. Oh, thanks, Ox. What do you do, little heart? Oh, wait, what? The spider lady? Oh my god, yeah, the spider lady. Yeah. All right, actually, that's a fair point. I should share with you guys if you're interested in more like, you know, kind of wait. If you guys are interested in more fleshed out finished projects, you can come and follow me over here. There's I do this sometimes on my channel, but I also do a lot of other things. I do stylized characters, I do creature sculpts, monster sculpts, horror sculpts, the whole thing, whatever I'm feeling like. And I've got like I think maybe 7 projects going at the same time all the time, so I'm jumping around a lot. It's usually not the same thing all the time either, because I get bored and my eyes get tired pretty quickly of things, so I like to keep it fresh and jump onto something completely different. This top part is looking a little bit like a cap to me, so I want to see if I can edit that. Probably start messing around with it a little bit. Let's get like that in there and color. Let's get back to this. Welcome back, Nyx. Poor monster. He's just walking around wanting a hug, and everybody attacks. Everybody hates him. This character's supposed to be a demon. I guess it can be whatever your mind wants, whatever your little heart wants it to be. I'm just kind of letting it be what it wants to be right now, and I'll start like kind of like finessing it after. I never, you know, when I'm working like this, I never try and force a concept to be anything in particular. If I like, you know, how lines are working, I just kind of like let it happen, you know. And so one thing that might be looking like a demon 1 second would, like, you know, in the next hour or whatever ends up looking like a lizard or something, you know. Like it changes. It's a very free-form way of kind of sculpting and designing. It's a lot of fun also. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna separate this bottom jaw so that I have a little bit more to work with. Cool. So something like this. We will quickly before, you know, because this looks a little bit sketchy right here. It might have a little bit of a problem closing holes on that. I'm gonna quickly just save this just to make sure. How do I know angels are... You never know, right? Fluffy bunnies are scary. Then Lopar. No, Lopar. But you have a new computer, you need to download ZBrush again. Can't find a download link anywhere on your account page or the download center. That's a question for the support center for ZBrush. It's the digital personification of poutine. I feel like poutine right now. Hey, Amik, rather. Sorry. How you doing? So I'm gonna work with this like top piece here because I'm not really liking like that. It looks kind of like a helmet that's on top of him. Alright, so that worked out pretty decent. I'm gonna have to take this and kill it though. Same with this. It's better to have a little bit more of a clean thing rather than like single faces to work from, even though like, you know, the shapes were there. I just want to make sure that all of it isn't like single faces, and I'll clean it up after. Because Dynamesh doesn't like single faces. Does not. Single faces are not Dynamesh's friends at all. Okay, close holes. Oh, okay, delete hidden and then close holes. There we go. And, okay, I'm getting that weird thing again. This seems to happen with close holes. Oh. What? Oh, whoops. Mirror mode. No, it's not close enough. Man! Hold up. Okay, dynameshing this really quick, and then doing it again. Okay, that's too high poly. It's too high poly. Okay, that's clean. I'll let it overlap a little bit. And then... There we go. Okay, we good. What do you think of your head? I thought your head was It's Getting There movie. I'll look at it again later. Dynamesh is a bully. Better have subdivided and lost than to have subdivided and all. Better to have subdivided and lost. Oh my god, Lopar. What's your... What do I do about holes that sometimes get in your mesh when sculpting? Are you talking about like if you have a, you know, a really thin, like if you thin this out really like a lot and then you end up having a hole and then you have to dynamesh and it's getting holes? Is that what you mean? Because there's a bunch of different ways. So there's actually, you know, if you just have like random holes in your mesh when dynameshing, there's a thing in modified topology called close holes. And even when you're Z remeshing, if there's like any kind of like artifacts like that, like and you end up having like holes or whatever, try using the close holes. If you're still getting like problems and it doesn't like it, check your mesh integrity down here. You can fix your mesh. It gets rid of like any unused vertices and things like that, which is really nice. And then that gets your mesh a little bit more cleaned up and ready to use uh, for all these fancy features, especially when decimating your model. Hmm. Mix is done. Okay, we're gonna get some more music. Get some more music. Ba, ba, ba. Da, 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 da. We could do this. Hopefully this one is good. Polycount is too high. She can't take much more of this, Captain. It's going down. I must go down with my ship. There's a close hole button. You're welcome. I mean, I'm saying, well, you're welcome on behalf of the Pixelogic guys, but yeah, the mesh can be too thin. So if you have, whoa, this is hard. Let's go to the next one. So your mesh, if it's too thin, it can actually just start like if you're dynameshing, it doesn't register as it being like two sides anymore, and that could be pretty problematic, and you'll end up getting like holes. Oh man, this is so intense. This is so intense. I don't think I could listen to this. Hold on, let's go back to the. There we go. Unz, unz, unz. Those quick racing games, yeah, I know, it was so hard. You got a question about high poly characters. How can you downgrade poly count without losing details? Um, you okay? So when you're dealing with you got to think of like what's sticking out the most, right? So um, with something like this, if I'm gonna make this low poly, I could make this whole piece right here, like, if I really wanted to, and this is not deforming, I would make this entire piece, like one rectangle, one rectangle. So this would be pretty low poly right here because it wouldn't have to deform. And it also really like depends on if you're doing it for game res or if you're doing it for film. Because with film, you can use a lot of you can use something. Like, it doesn't really matter how high poly it is. Okay, so I'm gonna try dynameshing this one instead because. Yeah, so this is what I mean by like Dynamesh it doesn't like really thin geometry like that. So I'll just be inserting a whole bunch of teeth anyways, so I can just kind of go in here and kill all of this right now. Just gonna kill it. And then afterwards I can just insert some teeth. You looked at your skill from last week and it still looks good. Awesome, Rack. That's awesome. That's great. That means your skill level is catching up with your hand, or your hand is catching up with like your perceived skill level. It does like yeah. Anyways, that's awesome. Did someone call Lucio? Yeah. Let's break it down. Where do I find the delete hidden button on the standard interface? You can find delete hidden in geometry and modify topology, and then you can go to delete hidden right here. Geometry, modify topology, delete hidden. Games, film, something else. Yeah, like games and film, like those are the two pipelines, right? Like if you're doing games versus film, like if you're doing film, like it applies to like TV, it applies to advertisement, but games is just strictly games. Hands, yeah. I don't know how to whatever, whatever. I'm over it. Jeez, Mac, don't give me such a hard time. Yes. Okay, I gotta do something with this like upper part. Since all of this is I'm always like, I'm gonna do stuff on this part of the mesh, doesn't do stuff on that part of the mesh, just keeps messing around with the other parts. Damn it! Hey Joan, thank you. I'm glad you like it. You made everything out of spheres, just pushing and pulling spheres. It's all you know, trying to learn some more methods with things that you're doing in ZBrush. It's a great place to start. That's where I started learning how to do ZBrush, is just grabbing a sphere and just mucking around. And I still do it because it's a lot of fun. This guy started from a sphere today. Oh, okay, I'll save, yes. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Zomax. Thank you, Reg. Thank you. Stay up working on your 3D. Oh man, I sometimes stay up way too late. Like last night on my stream, I was up I was up until like 2 in the morning trying to get one of my characters rendered out. It's not so great. It's like on caffeine like crazy today. I just took a nap before I started streaming today. It's bad. You gotta find a balance. It's just so addicting sometimes, and you just really want to like get stuff done. It's one of those things too where you can see it starting to pay off, and you just wanna see it through to the end, and it's just like, no, but you should sleep, otherwise you're going to like literally die. Your body starts hating you. I don't recommend you do that though. For these streams, they're 4 hours, so I have like a cutoff. I'm not allowed to keep going. I mean, I know nobody else is like after me, but I respect the rule that I'm not gonna keep going just because then, you know, it's not healthy. Literal death is a small price for art. Isn't it though? Isn't it? Or obituary. Hi Rez, how you doing? Yeah, he's a little on the hard surfacey side, but it's still good cut, like um it's still like organic though. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with this top piece here. I'm thinking of just like rounding it out a little bit more. Rounding it out, and then this piece, I think what I could do is actually, oops. Yeah, Lopar is the king of puns. Lopar is on our channel. He's our stream dad, because he's the king of dad jokes. 2 weeks ZBrushing here without much sleep. Yeah, no, it's so addicting, but you guys gotta get your sleep. Like, it's not healthy. I'm a hypocrite. I'm a total hypocrite, but don't be me. Don't do that. Like, get your sleep. You know, it'll start to affect you in the long run if you don't. especially if you work. You know, it's not, you know, and I work, so again, I'm being a hypocrite. But it's just really, it's really tough. It's not fair to you, it's not fair to the company. So I try to get to bed on time, but some nights I slip up and I just get too involved with what I'm doing. It's just like, I just get obsessed. I just get totally obsessed with my art. Especially like if I'm streaming at the same, like last night's stream on my channel was 6 hours long. 6 hours. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. On a weeknight. Unacceptable, Ashley. Unacceptable. I just get carried away. Just totally carried away. That's why I really like the fact that Pixelogic's got me on a little bit of like a schedule. They're like, no, you gotta get off. You're not allowed to continue past this point. And I'm like, okay, all right, literally not allowed. Otherwise, I'm literally going to die. No. That local pun pundit, king of dad jokes. Oh, AVBN. Are you also a dad joke king? You can have a dad joke off. Also, guys, if you are interested in coming and watching some of my other stuff, you can go and visit my Twitch channel there. I usually have like a lot of projects going at the same time. I do a lot of random stuff. But it's a lot of sculpting, mostly sculpting. Six hours? You demand your stream video so you can spend a weekend to it? Yeah, no, go for it. It was a Valentine's Day one. We sculpted some very scary looking heart. It was very creepy. It was nightmare inducing, as anything Valentine's Day should be, obviously. Obviously I had the holidays right. And then we did a lot of rendering. I did a lot of like painting and rendering. Okay, I think that helps a little bit. A little bit.
I hope you find what you've been looking for. Trust me, I don't wanna feel no more.
Right? It's creepy. The Valentine's Day is just to prelude the cheap candy day. Just the prelude to cheap candy day. Got you. Yes, we live and breathe memes. We do. We do. Us mods are all memers. Drummer. Oh my god. They call that streams strimina. Not even stamina. Strimina. They call that strimina. Okay, got you. I got that strimina. Wonder if, oh my god, Lopar. You can spot everything that is wrong with your mom. Exactly, Expecto. Google it, blue light and sleep. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I know blue light actually doesn't help you sleep. That's for sure. There's some programs out there too. Like if you know working is hindering your sleeping pattern and stuff, you can get like this program that actually makes your screen go sort of orangey, and it's better for your eyes, especially for Cintiq users. Like if you're a Cintiq user, you're always just like really close up to it. It's got like a native blue light as well, so it's really bad for your eyes with prolonged use. So if you are doing that, you know, and you're not looking away, maybe think about getting one of those programs so you don't have to get glasses. Okay. Da, 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 da. I love all of you. Having too much strimina is extreme. Oh my god, low power. Rip. Really hurts your stream of consciousness. Oh my gosh, you guys are. I can't believe the puns are still going from yesterday. Lopar, what have you done? Do you have the problem when you look at something or some kind of shape and your brain just lights up with ideas like, hey, you, this would look cool as this or such? Yeah, movie. That's why. Okay, so for anybody who's curious, when anybody here mentions what a Discord is, if you don't know what a Discord is, it's just basically a chat room that you can like post pictures, hang out, and stuff like that. So I have a Discord for my channel, and I do like monthly challenges that anybody can kind of like take part in. And this month is sort of like a design challenge where I provided like some like subpar silhouettes. Like they're not like anything special, and you can't really like particularly tell what each one is. It's just kind of like random shapes. And the idea is to just kind of fill in that silhouette with, you know, a character, and just fill all the silhouettes and try and like, you know, see what your imagination comes up with. It's a really good way to stretch your creative muscles, get those juices flowing. And I've seen some really cool stuff that you guys are coming up with too. So yeah, like Movie said, like, you know, just looking at shapes, you can get a whole lot of ideas, and that's kind of what I'm doing on stream here, is just like making a whole bunch of shapes and then coming up with something. Using Cintiq, and you could. I was saying you're colorblind, especially when you spend an hour texturing, you forget it on. Oh, your boss is calling you colorblind. Are you colorblind? Man, that must be pretty tough if you're colorblind and you're a texture artist. That must be really tough. Oh, the orange screen pro, I got you, yeah. Yeah, you gotta turn that off if you're doing anything texture based. Do you move my logo to the left side? Oh, sorry, I didn't notice that. Let me just. Whew, over here. Get out of the way. Get out of the way, you stupid thing. There we go. There you go. Thanks, Zomax. Hi, Sauron. How you doing? You should tattoo an A on my forehead. It's a good look. I moved it. I moved it. I moved it. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, so 2 hour break. So it's a 2 hour mark rather, not 2 hour break. Yeah, I'm gonna break for the rest of the stream now. I'm gonna be right back. You guys can look at this. Here, I'll put this right here. I'll be right back. Please enjoy chair stream trademark. I'll even here you go. There you go. Enjoy. I'll be right back. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah, but the one thing I'd recommend to everybody, if you're sculpting for a long period of time, definitely do get up and take breaks. It's not good for your body to be sitting down for hours and hours and hours and hours. Gotta find the time to just take just a couple of minutes. Just get up, stretch, and then continue doing your thing. All right, see you, AVBN. Thanks for stopping by. Cheer time. Chair is the best streamer on Twitch, isn't it? Isn't it? It's such a good chair. It's a good chair. It's a good chair. Where's I can post my other Twitch channel in here. For anybody who's curious about my Twitch channel, it's right. Oh, hold on, right there. You need one of the apps to tell you to get up. Do you need an app to tell you to start drinking water too? So that's where it snowballs. I think College Humor did a really funny skit on that, like having apps telling you when to take sips of water, when to do all that kind of stuff. They had a pretty funny skit on that. So when it starts snowballing, when you need all the apps to tell you how to live your life. Okay, so now this is all like that, which means I can actually properly start cutting in here. Give him an actual neck. All right, see you, Kyle. Thanks for doing the mod thing, and thanks for helping out with the stream, getting that started. It's called your stomach. Yeah, BBR. It's called an app. Tight. Oh, yeah, the puns keep rolling. Keep rolling. Okay, let's do. What do I recommend to learn anatomy more? Sculpt it from reference and try to understand it? Of course. Of course, definitely be working from reference. Right now, I am not. That's it's not really like the purpose of this. Like I've already kind of put a disclaimer that this anatomy is not accurate, and that if I liked the shapes, liked where this sort of idea was going, that I would be using reference afterwards to kind of like get it accurate. But you know, if you're working on an actual project or if you're still learning and stuff like that, like definitely work from reference. Definitely. There's a whole bunch of really good stuff for anatomy. Scott Eaton is a really good one. Shoot. Yeah, Scott Eaton is the one that I had taken like a few years back. I'd really love to take another anatomy course to reinforce what I know and to kind of like just burn it into my head a little bit more too. So that's one of the things that, like, if you don't know what you want to do, you don't know what you want to do, you don't know what to study, anatomy, you know, like just, you never be too good at anatomy. You need to always be studying it, so. I'm always telling myself, oh, I need to do more anatomy, I need to do more anatomy, do even more anatomy. See how far I can push this. Yeah, Andrew Kars as well. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about like getting all these people like off the top of my head. When somebody asks me like, "Oh, what's your inspirations? Oh, what do you use for anatomy?" I'm just like, "Oh," somebody asks me for it. But yeah, Andrew Kars is also a really good one. There's a lot of people.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase.
Okay, I'm gonna take a break from that because my eyes are getting tired of it already. So, in that case, I'm gonna do some mouth stuff. Oops. So you don't know the names of some parts. Well, that's okay. When you go through like an anatomy course, typically they help you understand what like the names of everything is. Worst case scenario movie, you could always just like look up a cadaver, and then you could just like look at the labels like medical posters and things like that. It helps you know what the scientific names of things. What are your guys' favorite scientific names for anatomy though? Because I feel like my favorite one was figuring out that the anatomical snuff box was a thing. If you know what the anatomical snuff box is, let me know because that's amazing. um, I'll tell you what it is. It's the little part right in here, and you kind of like you kind of make your hand like that and you see this little spot right here. That's the anatomical snuff box. You can guess what the people in the 16th century used to do with that. So that's why it's called the anatomical. Like it's really really funny. I never forgotten that part of the hand. You want a good anatomy model? Come with yeah the Ryan Kingsley one is also good. Yeah, it comes with ZBrush. In your light box, you can get a whole bunch of like project. I'm not gonna open my projects right now, but you can get that. But yeah, movie, definitely check what Pixelogic Kingsley dropped down in chat. Same with BB Art, the figurine, and also Andrew Cars's presentations. Like those are really good things to look at. You just like the word sternoclavicular? Yeah, it does. It does sounds really smooth. Alright, see you, movie. Good luck with your sculpts. The xiphoid process. It does. It sounds. Oh my god. I like anything that has the word process in it. You gotta call your muscle. You gotta call that stuff the process. The process. Also, like referring to your hands and arms in like the pronated or supinated. I love the word supinated. Oops.
From start, you my bunny, I'm your Clark. From now to eternity, I give you all my heart. We are meant to be, it's clear to see. My love is bigger than I thought. I got everything I want when I hold you with my arm. The others don't matter, my love and my pleasure, the key to my treasure. Whatever's the weather, day up and out with you till I die. How many times for you I'ma try? Want you to notice the one and I know this perfect soulmate. I wanna show it my best friend. She saved my life, my happy end in hard times.
Supinate is when you dump some candles on someone and walk away triumphantly. Oh my god, don't do that. Sternocleidomastoid. I think that's like one of everybody's favorite. Hey Smurf, how are you? Oh yeah, there you go. High Res got a good one. They're super happy with you on that one. Hi Crystal, how are you? I need to get it with those, but oh my goodness. You guys are destroying with the puns, man. It's just non-stop dad stream. Alright, gotta go back down here. Insert a cube. Why a cube, you say? I don't know, I'm trying something. Trying a thing. I think this might actually work a little bit better. This is what I was talking about too before with the primitives. I like to just kind of like block in primitives. So we'll see if this works for me. So split mass. Oops. Hey Bob. All right, no problem, BBR. Thanks for stopping by. It's always good to see friendly faces. Oh, thanks, Kingsley. I was just about to do that. Mind reader. Got that Wi-Fi mind reading. Tacos have arrived. Oh my gosh, you ordered tacos. You're getting tacos delivered? I've never heard. What? Say what? I want tacos. You want nachos? Can't you just make nachos? See, I can't. I gotta do this. Me and Mr. Creepy right here. Me and Mr. Triangle Face have a date. So I can't go and make nachos right now. Also, I also don't think it's healthy to eat at midnight.
Said the same thing I told ya. My eyes are clear, no secret. I wanna know, was it serious? I need it clear, my best friend. Isn't easy to show with the weight of the world on my shoulders. I know I told you, it's the best light I know. It's not a game that I am playing.
TaskRabbit. A stream emergency for nachos. No, it's all good. It's all good. I appreciate the thought, though, Lopar. You know, I always want food, but it doesn't mean that I should always be eating food. So I like to see how far I can actually push like the bones as well before it looks like it's actually breaking. Like I like to see if I can actually get it like, you know, curvy and stuff like that.
I know you made it in
Nacho time to starve. Oh no! That's so good! Oh my gosh. I thought I got eaten by... Oh, Doug! Oh my gosh, Doug! How are you? I haven't seen you for a while. Yeah, no kidding. I thought we got eaten by something. The poor sculpt, too far, too far. I'm always thinking that. You know, like I think in the last stream I mentioned how like if I don't finish something, I feel like ever since I was a kid, I feel like it's like in another dimension, like in its drawing or like sculpt dimension, just like slowly suffering on my hard drive. Like if I didn't like draw legs on it or something, it's like slowly suffering. I don't know why, but for some reason I'm thinking that. And so like when I'm doing this kind of stuff, it's sort of like the same sort of deal. It's really stupid. But I try not to express that much on stream because it's weird. So again, I'm looking at the highlights of all of this to make sure I can see where the flow is going, and that's how you can start getting those like really gestural sort of looking sculpts, is if you're paying attention to the highlights. Pay attention to your highlights. Always pay attention to your highlights. That'll help you get strong forms, really strong forms. It's not just about the silhouette when you're looking at it, right? I mean, like the highlights dictate silhouette as well, like when you're turning. So that's how you can judge that. Are you gonna make this guy a Barbie girlfriend? I would show you guys, man. Barbie. Oh, oh yes, I worked on Barbie. Did you know, guys? I worked on a Barbie movie. That was my first project, and it was a lot of fun. I think hands are definitely one of those things. When I started streaming, I was really bad at doing hands. I'm still not like, you know, extremely great at it, but it's one of those things that I had to like learn to not be afraid of. And that was definitely a difficult task to not be afraid of hands. So they are like hella hard. Get that anatomical snuff box in there. Oh man. You're naked under your clothes all the time, but the models in ZBrush are clothed. The little bright points are the highlight of the entire work. Oh, you mean the, are you talking about these? The, like, little eyes? Just sculpt some band-aids before starting the stream. Any way to change the highlight color in ZBrush regardless of map cap? Yeah, you could go into your lights. You can actually change your lighting color in general. So if I wanted to change, like, you know, my light to a different color, it's gonna affect everything in general. So you know, that's one way to change, like, you know, the spec on everything, is because it's gonna be the light. But if you actually want just the highlights to be changing, then you gotta go into your materials and your modifiers, and you can change all of that kind of stuff here. There's a lot of, like, you know, better tutorials than what I could, you know, give you right now in this short amount of time that can explain that kind of stuff on Z Classroom and ZBrush's YouTube channel. Okay, now that that's really pushed, I want to see if I can push this even more. Push this rib cage out. Kind of looks like he's got that Wolverine thing going on. I can't unsee it. Wolverine Kaiju. You were the model for the Barbie movie? Oh. In a Barbie world. Oh my goodness. Hands are tough, yeah. It doesn't have to be round, they can be squared. No, exactly. Like, and you know what? Like, I was trying to talk to you guys about blocking out in primitives and how you can see your shapes and planes a little bit better. So I like to drop, like, actual shapes down and then, and then actually, like, work from that and add details afterwards because then you're getting, like, your actual planes. You're getting, like, you know, how it's supposed to look in the most simple form, and then from that simple form you can work upwards. Hi Shane, thank you. I'm glad you like it. How are you today? Puns. The highlights of the. Okay, got you. I got you. I got you. See, I can't even tell. The puns are so meta now. Like, there's so many puns within puns that I can't tell what's real. I don't know what's real life anymore. Thanks, Dan Pants. How you doing? Matte caps are their own lights, though. The basic mats react to the light. Yeah, exactly. So matte caps don't get affected by the light panel. They have baked down lighting. But I typically, when I'm sculpting, my preference is personally, like, I like to use materials because I have this little light ball down here, and when I'm doing, like, for something like this, I'm not really concerned about it, but when I'm doing, like, things like likeness sculpts and stuff like that, I really enjoy moving the light around just to make sure things are looking correct in, like, reference pictures that I have, for example. Like, you know, if a reference picture I have might be of, like, this person and it has, like, an underlight, then I would be moving this around just to, like, match that and see, like, if it's getting the same sort of feeling as those pictures. Pluralsight is best for video lessons on ZBrush. Is it? I really enjoy ZBrush's Z Classroom, to be honest. Like, ZBrush's Z Classroom, there's nothing really better than that. There's a lot of really good tutorials out there, but, like, if you want to know the basics and, like, even stuff that you didn't even know about ZBrush, Z Classroom is your go-to, man. It's go-to. Am I hyped for the Logan movie? Yeah, you know it. You know it. I'm a little bit skeptical. I'm gonna, you know, like, I feel like you know, it's cool because I feel like Logan should be rated R. I feel like that suits him, but that little girl, there's something about it. I'm worried that she's not gonna stand up to my expectations. But we'll see, we'll see. I have a hard time with child actors in films. It's either a make or a break for me. They're either, like, hella good or really bad. There's no in between. It's very black and white for me. Dynamic hands. Yeah, I like to just, like, push it as far as I can anyways. The stream is, like, 5 minutes off. Oh, Hollows, it might just be because I'm not looking at the chat as much. Yeah, primitives to block out a character, Shane. That's probably to do with the fact that I have an animation background, so everything is very, like, constructed. I heard it. You heard it here first. I despise you. I don't hate children. I'm just saying child actors are either amazing or not good. You know? You know? I'm just gonna leave that for right now. I don't know if I can push this still. want it to break, but I really want to push this. Children are frightening. Oh no. Oh no. They can be, but they can also be pretty cute. Just, it depends. It depends. Depends on the kid. Depends on their genes. Recently spent over a year setting up a pun at work. Involved negotiating front licensing so you can demonstrate impact at work. Oh my god. A whole year to build a pun. That's too much, man. Because he distills everything that you can break far away from ZBrush. Thanks, Kinsley. Thank you. Yeah, guys, if you want to see more of this stuff, feel free to drop me a follow over at my channel, and then you can get notifications when I go live. And there's gonna be, like, I'm working on a whole, like, ton of different projects at the same time. It's going back and forth from a lot of things because I give my brain a break from a lot of the stuff that I work on. I occasionally do like one-offs, but for the most part, yeah, I've got like a bunch of projects over there that I'm working on all the time. Also, you guys, if you kind of like enjoy this sort of stuff, you're gonna really like the rest of what Pixelogic has lined up, and they're gonna keep adding more people as time goes on to the roster. So if you hit follow on this channel, you're gonna get notified for all the other really awesome artists that are gonna be streaming here. If you didn't already know that, you should definitely hit the follow thingy, because there's some really cool people here. Really cool people. And everybody seems to have like their own kind of like skill set too, which is really neat. I feel like I'm always learning. See, this is the part where I hate not blocking in the legs right away and then having to deal with that now. Like, Douglas, oh my gosh. Nothing is ever too long to set up a pun. It's like you go your whole life and then on your deathbed you have to say something. that would be dedication. Oh my god, low bar. No, you should definitely check out the other guys here. They're really, really good. And girls. Thanks, Disjam. I like to exaggerate my personal work as well. Ooh, you guys want to see a fancy trick? So if you draw out your your transpose line and you want some sort of a curve, you can actually hold Alt and do the middle thing, and it'll go from point A to point B, the medium, and it'll make this point be the apex of that curve that you're drawing out. So if I drew it out like this, then the curve would be like, you know, between that point and that point. And that's why I was doing it a little bit bigger, kind of a thing, right? Because then you get some curves. Curves! Fancy fancy. What am I doing? Here we go. Dead vacation. That was a very. Oh my god! That was not intended, Lofar. That was not intended. Have I ever tried blocking out the entire character in primitives and keeping it separate the whole time? Yeah, Shane, I have done that. It's pretty fast for like just I do that sometimes if I'm blocking out like silhouettes. So like, you know, just without like doing it in this organic way, I actually just kind of like throw a few like, you know, blocks together and they just like stay super blocky, and then I like put a few of them together and then I just dynamesh them afterwards, sort of a thing. But it's easy to just like move like square and stuff like that. It's a fun workflow. It's really loose and gestural. I'm wondering how this will work though. How will this work? Or, no. Because I don't want this to be, these are parallel lines, which I don't really enjoy at all. But I really enjoy how the arms are going, so I'm wondering what I can do with these legs. This is usually where I just kind of like muck around with something until it looks right. I don't think, you know what, I don't think he needs legs. I don't think that's what this is. I don't think this is a leg character. Let's see. Oh my god. Get this. There we go. So then that means I would be able to... Okay, okay. Squidward's final form, yeah. This one is pre-mermaid. Oh, pre-maimed, yeah. I thought you were gonna say pre-mermaid. Yeah, not exactly octopus, but I'm thinking kind of like snake sluggy kind of gross thing. Not maggot though. Not maggot. I don't think he needs a bug in him. But I want to see if I can like. Let's see. Let's just see what I can come up with here. Oops. Meh. Yeah, you guys are talking about Maya crashes, yeah. Oh, Maya, she's very finicky. She's finicky. Do I delete history often? I don't know if you're talking to me. There's no delete history in ZBrush. Like you don't need to do that. Oops. All right, see you, Krista. Thanks for hanging out. It's good to see you. Have a good sleep. Oh my gosh. Trying to do what I think you're trying to do. You might need some more poly real estate there. Oh yeah, no, absolutely, Damp. I know. What I'm doing right now is blocking out a silhouette. Don't you worry, friend. Don't you worry. It's not gonna work. So I'm wondering if I could actually yeah, I probably could do that actually. Okay, now we're gonna dial mesh it. How did I flatten the bottom? Control Alt, and then you could select trim curve, which doesn't work with symmetry, so you might want to check off clip curve. So those two things you can do: Control Alt, click, drag, and then you'll have your line. You hold spacebar, you can move that line around. If you hold Alt, you'll get a curve. If you double click Alt, you're gonna get a sharp turn. That's how you do that. That's how that works. Technical. Low bar. Don't say you can't. Honestly, everybody I think honestly has the ability to draw. It's just the amount of time that you put into it. Everybody has the ability to sculpt. It's just the amount of time you put into it. Oh, whoops. So from the front, gotta fix some things. Ooh. Actually, I don't need to do that. I could just, there we go. Oh, yeah, sorry, Edgar. Yeah, Control Shift. Control Shift. Yeah, that's how I. Sorry, I am so sorry. Control Shift is how you do it. Listen to Edgar. That's how you drag it out. My bad. My bad. Oh, thanks, Nebraskan. I'm glad you like it. Arms are not my strong point. That's why I try to do a lot of them, because they're not my strong point. With the actual post looks like you've been yelled at because am I all sad? Yeah. I really like the feeling of making something look strong but still relaxed. Like there's something really beautiful about like all of the ancient Greek statues and things like that that have that like really strong like muscular form, but it looks so relaxed. Like all of the and I really like looking at that kind of stuff. But translating it into my art, I'm still gonna need a lot more practice with that. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's not cool.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero.
Sounds like big cats. Exactly, yeah. Big cats are perfect for that kind of a thing. Lions' paws are great because they're just like these big floppy masses with these like really crazy, like these claws at the end of them, but then they just have like these massive pads on the bottom and it just makes them look so strong, but they're always just so lazy, so they're always just like bleh, but it's just this massive hulking thing and you're just like, oh my gosh, like that's so cool. That's like it's so juxtaposed, I guess you could say, like it's really I like it. It feels nice looking at it.
It's the first time of today. Today.
Hey Pierre, how you doing?
To dream, believe you are the
Thanks, I'm glad you like it.
I need. Oh, gonna give it a shot. Only one of me to shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero. You're a superhero.
Now I want to know if I can get this. Oop. Whoosh. Look at this. Oop, oop. There we go. And another thing that I really like doing is contrasting really strong, hard edges with really wispy edges, which is why I thought that this character would be nice with some sort of like a tail, like sort of thing, rather than legs. I just kind of wanted to chunk in something a little bit more wispy. No. Wait, what? Okay, there we go. Okay. Sorry. I totally missed a lot of this chat right now. Hi, Ronnie. How are you doing? I figure you get your bachelor's in just another 15 more months. Bachelor's, eh? I went through bachelor's. Good luck. Should do push-ups and pull-ups. Ooh, you must be talking about somebody else. Ba, 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 ba. If you guys want to ask me a specific question, it's good to kind of like try to type like go @A_cubed and then type your question, because then I can see it like highlighted in red, sort of a thing. Because right now it's just kind of like this is a lot of stuff for me to like scroll through while I'm typing or sculpting. So if you guys do want to ask a specific question, make sure to do that. I think I want to try to pose this a little bit. Okay. Ah! No. Shoot. Wah. Get in there. Get in there. @A underscored. Obviously you're doing it right. Do I polygroup the arms separate so they're not in the way? Easier to sculpt the wispy tail. What do you mean? I mean, like they're in separate subtools. Okay, so before I start doing all of this, I'm gonna put this back. And just make sure that I have this all saved before I actually start doing this, because I totally didn't save before that. Before I exit symmetry mode. Sculpt again with societies because you're waiting for support to reset your downloads. Oh, well, they'll get to it. They'll get to it. Don't worry. I might leave the pose out for this one. Just to... Just because I don't think I'm going to have enough time. I don't want to really rush the pose either. Because usually if I'm doing the whole pose shebang on my stream, I'm going a little bit longer. So I'm just gonna take this a little bit further until the end of the stream. If that's alright with you guys. I hope that's alright with you guys. Oh no, it's okay, Ronnie. It's okay. Will I do a tutorial on how to use this program? Kingsley, yeah, listen to what Pixel Kingsley has to say. He's got he's telling you guys that there's like a lot of other really talented people on this stream that work at ZBrush as well, like Pixelogic rather, and they're gonna be coming on here to run you guys through some stuff, show you some tips and tricks. But also you should go and check out Z Classroom. Z Classroom has a lot of really useful information if you want to like learn how to use the program. How long have I been using ZBrush? Close to 3 years now. Control D, ZBrush, you won't let me finish. But I gotta subdivide the biggest mesh of all time. Of all time! Did I use damn standard? No, I used the Mac Cut brushes. You can Google, hold on. Do I use any shortcut for brushes? Yeah, so I have my whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way up to 0. I have it all mapped as like my favorite brushes, the ones that I use the most frequently.
No need to worry about your pre-recorded music tapes being accidentally erased. It can't happen.
Yeah, hashtag Ask ZBrush has a lot of really good stuff. Thanks, Kingsley. Yeah, if you guys wanna see more of this stuff, I'm gonna be ending here in a half an hour or so from now. So if you want to catch more streams like this, or even just like more project-based stuff that I'm working on, like if I want to maybe, I might even continue something like this guy on my stream. So if you want to catch something like that, feel free to follow me on Twitch. It totally okay. Now all I can see is Wolverine. I can't even unsee it. Oh my god, it's the Wolverine snake monster thing. Oops. There we go. Yeah, Joseph does a live broadcast like Kingsley said. So if you guys want to get some really pro skills answers, he's the Ask ZBrush guy, Joseph Dressed. You should definitely check that out when he starts streaming here. He's very knowledgeable, and he talks to you guys like in chat too. Lizard Jafar, yeah. Thanks, Daryl. Nice Lofar. Sweet. Unicorns. Oh my gosh, you guys. Wow, you picked up ZBrush in 2005? That's crazy. I didn't pick it up that long ago. That's insane. That's awesome though. I think the initial release for ZBrush, the first one, was 1999, right? I think so, something like that. Whoa, hey, what's going? Oh, it's because I'm on that. That's why. ZBrush is almost as old as you. Yeah, I know, right? Did discover the ZBrush until 2013. I think I'm in the same boat as you, Raiva. Or 2014 maybe. So when I picked it up or something like that. Anyone have any tips? Auto grouping would really work since you have to kind of pick the different groups. Yeah, you can polypaint or just like use masking. So every time that you mask something, like let's say like I masked, like you can use the mask lasso. You can with backface masking on. So if you do that, oh, backface masking isn't working for some reason. Okay, well it's supposed to work. Backface. That's because I have symmetry on, stupid. If I don't have symmetry on. Nope. No. Doesn't. No. Okay. Backface button. Ignore me saying that. That didn't work. You can lasso, or you could just mask pen and just like kind of draw out sections. When you're doing fiber mesh though, your sections don't necessarily have to be perfect though. So you don't have to worry about it being like totally perfect. Now, if you have like a base mesh and it's not from a Dynamesh sphere, what you could do is just go into ZModeler and just select the polygroups manually with ZModeler. Oh, I'm glad, Clarence. That's great. Welcome. Backface work with lasso, only with the masking brushes. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was gonna work. You can just ignore my brain part. Just ignore my brain part. No one was watching. It's okay. I'm gonna continue working on the tail bits. Oops. Yeah, solo part, you'll probably have an easier time with that. Thanks again, Kingsley. I'm gonna keep saying thank you. Yeah, guys, if you wanna catch more of this, hit me up with a follow over on my Twitch channel. This is not my Twitch channel, this is Pixelogic's Twitch channel, where you can see a whole bunch of other awesome artists here. But if you want to see more of what I do, go slam that follow button on both of these channels. Slam it too. Like, don't just gently click it. You have to like smash it. Smash it. Absolutely smash that button. Smash it. Aggressively follow. What type of tablet am I using? Intuos Pro! Here, this is what it looks like. You just made me smash my mouse. So good! That's because you had to redo it. You didn't do it right the first time, Lopar. You had to smash it. We do not condone Ashley. Everybody smash your mice. It's legit. It's the only way to be good at this. JK, don't smash your mice. Don't do that. If you are unable or unwilling to comment on such sensitive internal issue. Oh. Man, everybody's watching this on Twitch. That's cool. I guess, Kingsley, that's kind of the same as ArtStation. People can stream to ArtStation, but it's more of like a notification place. I don't actually know a lot of people that watch from the ArtStation tab. They usually just like click into Twitch, from what I know, so that they can be a part of the chat and stuff like that. Then again, I think you guys have chat over on yours as well. But I think ArtStation is kind of the same deal as people see it there and then they come and hang out on Twitch afterwards. Yeah, that's a good point, Kingsley. But most people that like have Twitch accounts, I feel like they actually like just jump over to Twitch. It's like sort of like a notification thing. That's what I've noticed anyways with ArtStation. But it's like what you said, like, so then it's one of those things where if people don't have an account, then it's cool. They just kind of watch from there. It's super cool that you guys have like that you guys are broadcasting it to the ZBrush live site too. It's really set up nicely. I like it. It's clean. Okay, so yeah.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. I don't wanna waste what's left.
Oh, cool, Daryl. You want this snake slug whatever man to just have pants just because you're curious how an article of clothing might work? It would literally just sit on top. Like it would just be it would be like one leg. It would be one pant leg. And in order for that to be legit, you know what we have to do, right? You know what we have to do. If he's gonna wear pants, he's gonna need something. He's gonna need something very important. Yes. This is there we go. Now he can wear pants properly. Now he can there we go. Now he can wear a pant properly. Let me just make sure that his foot. There we go. Let's make it actually look like it'll work. Yep. Seems legit. This is now I can wear pant. Just pant. Just pant. Can't be an AQ stream with a completely appropriate added foot. You know it. You need the human feet in there. You need the... I need to get rid of this. Get out. Leave, foot. Leave. You're not welcome here. Okay. I'm gonna save this. Bling. The foot is what grounds the design. Ooh. Ooh. Sweet. That sounds pretty sweet, this jam. Sounds pretty sweet.
know that I'll be there day and night. Nobody else can love you better. I'm here just to treat you right. You're the reason I'm alive. You're the only pain I can endure. And when you're not here, you're my dream, but I just want it.
Oh, whoa. Oh. Oh no. Whoopsies. Forgot that that's a thing that likes to do.
From start, you my bunny, I'm your Clark. From now to eternity, I give you all my heart. We are meant to be, it's clear to see. My love is bigger than I thought. I got everything I want when I hold you with my arm. The others don't matter, my love and my pleasure, the key to my treasure. Whatever's the weather, day up and out with you till I die. How many times for you I'ma try? Want you to notice the one and I know this. Perfect soulmate, I wanna show it my best friend. She saved my life, my happy end in hard times.
Hey, baby. Jade, thank you so much. Glad you like it. Like a minimalist shoe for a naga. What brush did I use for the scale? Red Jackal, in your light box, you can go and access your brush palette, and then from there you can go to slash, and you'll find the slash 2 brush. Yeah, there you go. Sidral got it. Yeah. Pixelogic streamer meetup at TwitchCon. That would be pretty sweet. That would be pretty sweet. I've never been to TwitchCon. Plane ticket is too much money. Am I gonna do asymmetry in the end? Not with this one. I decided that I wanted to spend a little bit more on the actual sculpt rather than starting to get into all that kind of stuff right away. I might continue him on my own stream because I kind of like where it's going. I still would want to play around with proportions, especially in this like chest area. But yeah, I might still work on him. We'll see. We'll see. I do have a lot of other things going though. Other projects. So many things. We have 4 more minutes left. Yeah. 4 more minutes of this one left, so this is where we ended up getting to on stream tonight. It's alright, like, I mean, there's some things that I'd like to change in terms of proportions and things like that, especially with the head. I'd like this to be a little bit more sharp. Yeah, it's just in terms of shapes, I feel like there's still a lot of work this guy needs to have done to him before he's actually like I could be satisfied with his design. Profile wise, I'm pretty okay with that. I can show you guys how to like quickly look at a silhouette. Whoop. So you can look at your silhouette this way. Just kind of like select something like tiny. So now you can see what I was talking about in terms of shapes and stuff. So this is like a really strong shape. Lots of strong shapes. Don't quit you. Yeah. Alright guys, well, it's 3 minutes to, so this is where I'm going to start plugging myself, because you guys should first and foremost, thank you Pixelogic for having me on this channel. It's pretty cool. I get to meet all kinds of really cool people that I wouldn't have gotten to on my own channel just alone, so thank you for that. It's great. And if you guys actually follow them, you're going to get a lot of notifications for all the other really, really cool streamers that are going to be streaming here. You're going to learn a lot, so definitely follow them. But if you wanna come and check out more of the stuff that I'm gonna be doing, you can follow right there. Boom, in the chat. You can follow that. You can find my portfolio. You can find my Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, all over there on that link. So you can come and hang out with us. Anyways. 2 more minutes. I have to do this for 2 more minutes. Okay, don't say bye yet. 2 more minutes. I got this for 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. What can we do in 2 minutes? What can we do for 2 minutes? We can, oh, I know exactly what we can do. Wait. This is what we can do. So this is my concept. It's the footipede. The footipede. It's All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to see more of this guy, if you want to see more of like what I do, come and hang out with me on my channel. Anyways, I will see you guys next week, same time, same channel, all that fun stuff. Good night. Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. Bye.